few weeks ago, I reached out to Kyle, and after sort of polling the hockey world for pretty much the entire time since I've been hired as to where are the great minds out there, who are the innovators, who are the rising stars, and several, obviously I got several names, but one name that kept coming up was Kyle. I had a long conversation with David Branch, who suggested that Kyle would be a good person for me to get to know. So I think that was initially my first thought was just getting to know Kyle and learning a little bit more of how he thinks and what he does. That led to more conversations, led to deeper conversations. He and I enjoyed sort of discussing the game, and got to a point where I said, you know what, I'm going to have to call the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, because I want to have permission to talk to you about potentially working for us. So with that, I think I'd like to introduce you guys to the new Assistant General Manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Kyle Dubas.
That's obviously very exciting for me and my family. It's been quite the hectic month, but obviously I'm extremely excited about the opportunity to work in Toronto and for the Maple Leafs. It's been a lot of fun over the last little bit, getting to know Brendan and then getting to know Dave Nonis as well. Certainly looking forward to getting to know them more and seeing how the role evolves and working together with them. I wouldn't be here today without the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds and the opportunity that they afforded me 3 years ago, and looking forward to taking those experiences learned there to try to help the Maple Leafs as best I can.
I'm just looking for talented people, and the more I got to know Kyle, the more I realized that this was somebody that obviously was an extreme talent. I think that the more I learned about him and the way he does business, and also just the way that he applies his work. He's a worker. I mean, he's somebody that has applied what he knows in a practical sense. He's run a team. He's taken on the challenges, and he has experience in doing that. But again, he's not tied to any old ideas, or but at the same time, I think he's a very respectful and open person. And one of the first things he said to me, he considers this a great opportunity for him to learn. So I think that's what I had noticed about my first few conversations with him, was that he was a respectful gentleman. But also, I just found him intriguing. I was learning things that I didn't know, and just wanted to learn more. What he lacks in experience, I think that he makes up for in willingness and pursuit to gain more knowledge. I just think that this is somebody that if it wasn't going to be long before somebody else snatched him up, and we feel very lucky that we were able to get him.
Even when Brendan first reached out to me, it was you're humbled, and that's great, but it wasn't a slam dunk that I would just pick up and go. I was enthused with my talking with Brendan, and then even more enthused with my discussions with Dave, and where he sees the game going and the game evolving, and that to me was part of one of the more exciting parts of the entire process. And knowing that I'd be able to come in and be heard and help out as much as possible, and learn from Dave, who was a young assistant general manager as well, as he came up, which I think will be a great experience for me. But I'm just here to give my opinion and try to present information and go from there. I was a player agent before I went back to work for the Sioux, so in terms of knowing the CBA and knowing the salary cap and how it works, I haven't done that for 3 years, obviously, or aside from a fan where you're analyzing what a cap hit is and how it all fits into the system as a whole. But it won't take long for me to get reacquainted back with that if that's what I wanted to do.